Within St. Cloud State University, I've actually just had a transition. Now, most recently, stepping into an interim role as the director of SCSU Online and Distance Learning. We are all about moving education forward across all sectors. I am really proud of a continued focus on relationships, being able to have community, being able to think about how to honor diversity and culture, and then also being able to establish this sense of belonging and relationship within our courses. Professional learning, professional development is something that I'm highly, highly passionate about. What Fusion does is create opportunity for learning partnerships, create opportunities to come together and convene around different topics and really have not only like a subject matter point of learning, but also have a social community point of learning. And being able to convene around these things for a greater good was really important to me. Things that I hope to bring to the Fusion table are perspective on what the future workforce looks like, which is kind of the generating factor of both pre-K-12 and post-secondary education. We are preparing the future workforce, which is where Fusion kind of picks up and continues that work. So being able to have a lens on what do current fresh employees do, how are they learning differently, what is a social or emotional impact within their learning, how do we restructure learning, training, and development to engage people who have been working or potentially learning completely remotely. As we look at inspiring innovation for the greater good, we can look at the greater good as society being this greater, bigger impact. And all of the organizations that we work with at Fusion end up having significant public influence, significant public stakeholders and buy-in. So being able to inspire what innovation looks like or actually spark what innovation might be is a huge piece of why I believe in our mission. That when we convene people in a space, either virtually or physically, innovation redefines itself for those individuals, for the problems that we bring together to solve in creative ways. One that I think really relates well to what not only Fusion does, but my work is looking at that digital divide, looking at equity within internet access, looking at the broadband projects that are happening within Minnesota, both public and privately. It is, just as valuable as clean running water or electricity in our world today. And as we project into the future, we think in the next 10 years, what does internet access look like? And what does internet access look like for providing equitable access? So I guess 3 of my most favorite things to grill would be like a herbed marinated chicken, super, super good, flavorful. The other one is a nice medium rare steak with a good, nice sear. And the third one would be really juicy, flavorful hamburgers on like a Blackstone griddle. So for Mother's Day, we were selected for bacon. So we did do on the griddle 8 pounds, and there's a drip tray in the back of the Blackstone on the back of that griddle. And the runoff of 8 pounds of bacon is more than the drip tray. And I did not necessarily realize that until close to the end when it was already on my driveway, but that's okay because I'll just reseal the driveway this year anyways. We needed to do it, and that's a great excuse. One of the favorite things that I enjoy in my free time, and this either classifies me as like the young crowd or the old guy in the young crowd, is I actually love playing video games. So being able to play any type of video game is really a great disconnect from reality for me. For like a more intense video game, I have an Xbox Series X that a guy at Target was like, "We have them today, do you want one?" And in the impulse, I said yes. And I worked it out with my wife later. And that was a great purchase, because being able to play a little bit higher end games on that is really fun.